Hello, this is Steve Nelson at the National Weather Service with your weekly briefing for March 28th. Okay, we're going to focus this week's weather briefing on mainly on the severe potential for tonight, that is Friday night and Saturday across the area. So we'll begin by looking at the radar. This was as of 11 a.m. Friday morning. You can see on the screen rain. There was quite a bit of rainfall over western Georgia, more so than Atlanta and parts of southeast Georgia. So what you're looking at on the screen is the temperature and the rainfall, pretty cool, and no severe weather, no thunderstorms on the screen there in Georgia. You are seeing some there in the Florida Panhandle. There have been some warnings overnight with those storms down there, and that could be the case across the rest of the area late tonight and tomorrow morning into the afternoon on Saturday. This is one of the tools our meteorologists here use to sort of look at the outlook for severe storms. All the ingredients are there on the left side of the screen, and the colors indicate how present those conditions are expected across time as we go out about 7 days into the future looking at one of our computer models. So green is good. Green means the ingredients for severe weather aren't in place. And that include instability, shear, and some combined parameters, as well as heavy rain parameters. And when you start to see yellow and orange, they're starting to show up, in red and purple are obviously not good as far as severe weather. So what we're seeing, and we've highlighted here two areas in red. One would be for late tonight, Friday night into Saturday, and that's where for the Atlanta area, which this chart is particularly showing at this time, we are seeing some ingredients for severe weather in place, instability and shear. And again, later in the week, so I want to give a heads up on later in the week, next week, that those ingredients may be coming together. We're starting to enter a pattern where storm systems are coming more frequently. It's the time of year when we get a lot more severe weather. It's the peak, especially when we get to April. So just want to give you a heads up on that. Here's the day one outlook from the Storm Prediction Center that was issued this morning. This is valid through 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. As you can see, there's some good news here. No slight risk is covering the state of Georgia as of this forecast. That may change a little bit as they look at more information, but right now we're not expecting a lot of widespread severe weather through 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I've got the timing on the screen and the threats here for Georgia and for north and central Georgia in particular. Midnight tonight through 6 p.m. Saturday afternoon and evening. The threats, we could see some hail because of the instability. This is when we start to get the higher amounts of instability, we have to worry about hail. Damaging winds. A tornado can't be ruled out. We're not seeing the ingredients for a lot of tornadoes, but similar to what we saw on February 12th last month, when we kind of were expecting not a lot of tornadoes, especially in southeast part of our area in east central Georgia, we did have an early morning tornado in Dublin on February 12th. So just want to point out that it is possible, even though we say it's unlikely. Some things we just fully can't explain will happen. Here's the day two outlook that actually starts from 8 a.m. tomorrow morning all the way through 8 a.m. on Sunday morning. And you're seeing the slight risk area actually covers southeast parts of our CWA. This would be generally south and east of Macon, including Vidalia and some other cities. So we are watching that. That's when the ingredients kind of come together. And I'll show you, hopefully these storms will be more isolated than widespread. And also wanted to point out before we exit this screen that the green area does go back to cover all of the area. All of north and central Georgia could be under the gun for isolated severe storms on Saturday morning and even into the afternoon. If the right things come together, really the storm system will not sweep through the area and clean things out until Saturday night. So just want to point that out. Okay, what I'll be showing you here next on the next few slides is step-by-step through one of our better computer models. This is a WRF model that we run locally inside our office. I'm going to step you through starting with 6 p.m. This evening all the way through the afternoon on Saturday. So we're looking at 6 p.m. This afternoon. We're looking at the rain that's happening over right now over Atlanta and points over middle Georgia, not so much over north Georgia. As the storm system gathers strength to the west, the rain will probably redevelop in Alabama and move back into north Georgia. This is the forecast at 9 p.m., midnight, 3 a.m. Notice new thunderstorms kind of developing. These are when the severe ingredients are starting to come together there. Anytime after midnight tonight, the vertical wind shear is increasing. So these smaller storms may be enough to cause isolated area of wind damage or even hail. 6 a.m. Saturday morning. 9 a.m. Notice how a lot of the storms are starting to focus more over South Georgia than North and Central Georgia. Noon Saturday. And 3 p.m. And again, this is just one computer model. We look at a lot of information, a lot of different models and forecasts. So we'll just keep this in mind. But this is one that seems to work well, and it may be indicating some things are happening to stop the development of widespread storms. So I'll show you that here in the next slide. This is what we're hoping for to minimize the risk of severe weather tomorrow is maybe some storm systems developing along the Gulf Coast. If we get a lot of thunderstorms and heavy rain, what that can do is disrupt the flow of energy and moisture north, which also disrupts how much air comes together and creates lift along the front. If we could get this to happen, and that can happen in quite a few cases in situations like this, that'll minimize the threat for severe weather. But it looks like, according to the computers, they're also forecasting that, so we need to look at the other side. If those thunderstorms don't develop in the Gulf of Mexico and become widespread, we could be looking at a little bit higher chance for severe weather on Saturday. So we're going to watch this carefully. Here's about the heavy rainfall that I mentioned earlier. This is what was seen so far. We can't rule out heavy rainfall and some minor flooding, but we've already had actually more than an inch of rain in areas towards the Alabama state line in west central Georgia, northwest Georgia, south of Rome. You can see the darker green colors are over an inch. Anywhere in green is more than a half inch. So the Atlanta metro and a lot of the other cities haven't received as much rainfall, which is good. But here's the additional rainfall forecast, which does show at least an inch to maybe an inch and a half of additional rainfall on top of what's already fallen. So when you add that together, what happened earlier this morning and what's expected through Saturday night, we could be seeing 1 to maybe up to 2.5 inches of storm total rainfall. That's a fair amount of rain. Luckily, it's not all happening at once. We're not seeing any rapid rises in creeks or rivers this morning, so we're not expecting any significant flooding with this. Just some good rain. Once we get this storm system out of here, things are really looking up in the forecast. You can see on the screen here, this is just an example from Sandersville, but this applies to pretty much most of our cities in north and central Georgia. Really nice weather Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday and Thursday. It's not shown on the screen here, those forecasts, but through Tuesday, really great weather. You can see a lot of sun and warm temperatures, especially once we get to Monday and Tuesday, very warm temperatures. Here's a map of what we're expecting, for example, for Tuesday of high temperatures across the state. Lots of upper 70s, values near 80 are probably possible with this pattern. All right, to wrap things up, we're looking at a chance for severe storms starting around midnight roughly tonight, lasting through much of the day on Saturday before the front and the storm system sweeps through the area. Damaging winds, small hail is possible. That might be hail up to, say, 1 inch in diameter. Tornadoes are unlikely but can't be ruled out, similar to what happened on February 12th last month. We were not expecting a lot of tornadoes, especially in southeast and east central Georgia, but Dublin did receive an EF2 tornado in that pattern, so we're not that far off on what the conditions are expected late tonight and tomorrow and Saturday, so we're going to be watching that. 1 to 2.5 inches of storm total rainfall, including what fell last night and early this morning, can be expected through Saturday night. Not looking at a lot of flooding, just some good rain. And there's some rumors out there on social media, maybe the internet, about snow or ice being forecast. The information I've looked at and our forecasters here have looked at, we're not seeing any indication of snow or ice in the forecast. If it were to happen, it would be Sunday evening, maybe Sunday night in far northeast Georgia. It would probably be in the form of flurries. Temperatures appear to be too warm to really cause any impact, but not expecting any kind of snow or ice impacts at this time. Sunshine and above normal temperatures next week. That's looking forward to that. So that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you next week.